Dave Aranda, dwarfism.
Google
gets to the podium in a press conference last week at like the Texas High School Coaches Association or something.
You nailed it, man. You got it.
Along those lines.
San Antonio.
And references The Wolf of Wall Street, movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, and talks about throwing people who have dwarfism and chanting "one of us," which is like a legendary movie scene in the male lore.
Sure, yeah.
Maybe the second most legendary scene from that movie in the male lore. Yeah. And Aranda, let's start here. The word that he used for those with dwarfism, not PC. It's just
not Locked On Podcast Network approved.
No, we called. We tried production, and we said, "Can we even say that word?" No, actually.
Considering the history of Locked On Big 12, it was good to call ahead.
Yeah, you really can't. We made sure we checked our boxes. Dave Aranda decided, I'm going to do it anyway. Mama told me not to. He's doing it anyway. He's misbehaving. And it lit up the internet. He went super viral this week. He's not on Twitter. I don't even know if he has a TV. I really don't. So
he's got some way of watching these R-rated films.
Yeah, he has a Blu-ray player. I'm not sure how in touch he is with social norms, literally at all, and terms that are acceptable and unacceptable. But this one blew up, and it's one of the most insane things that I think I've heard a coach say from a podium.
It is. We've done 5 years of bizarre, Dave Aranda. This has to be the most bizarre because here, like, let's put us in the context here. You and I have both listened to Dave Aranda pretty much every time he's talked since he's taken over as the Baylor head coach. I am the king of forced analogies. I talked about this on my show earlier. I'm the king of forced analogies. I can't follow this one. I kind of barely am on the fringes understanding what he's talking about. He's talking about recruiting and using this recreational activity of people with dwarfism as the analogy. But this is a tough one. In fact, I'm still thinking about it days later. I don't feel like I'm any closer on this one. The Berenstein Bears, like that did make sense. I knew what he was talking about there.
Yeah.
This one, I'm not quite there. I'm not quite grasping it. You know, do you feel you have a beat on this one?
It seemed like what's so interesting about the answer, and again, we cannot play the answer on this show for multiple reasons. That's a very touchy. There's a lot there. It seemed like he began the answer, realized quickly, A, he couldn't explain it well. B, he may be saying something that's kind of offensive. You can see in his eyes, he was like, "Ooh, how do I back my way out of this?"
It was very like Michael Scott. Sometimes I start saying something and I don't really know where it's going. Like clearly in the middle of that, you're like, everyone in the room must have been, Shehan Jayaraj, I'm sure in the back, like, what's going on here? And like everyone kind of perking up, trying to see where he goes with this. And it doesn't really go anywhere.
But instead of shutting it down and be like, you know what? I can't. He decides to continue to say the word ad nauseum. He really makes sure.
See, like if like Dave seems like a very nice guy. I don't think he would sit here and say like he's a stand-up comedian or anything. Like if you have kind of a funny charm, you can play that off. You could be like, you know what? It's probably not good where that one's going. And then just reframe your answer. Dave doesn't do that. Dave does not do that. He doubles down and uses it again. But I think it's more offensive that answer didn't make any sense. That
I think correct. If we take the non-PC word that he used for those with dwarfism and even the idea of throwing people who have dwarfism, if we take that out, it still didn't make any sense at all. And it makes me wonder if David K just didn't change his batteries. If he didn't just unlock the box, get a couple more in there.
You gotta recode that thing, man.
Lithium ion, and Dave's back. The Tom Brady commercial. Is this? So it leads to this question for me, and I've said this since probably year one of Aranda. If I'm in that locker room, most of the stuff he says, I'm like, what the hell was going through?
It's funny though. Like I talked about this on my show too. It's like he is in a weird way like a total genius when it comes to this.
Yes, he's a great coordinator.
Because he's a genius at talking to the media in the weirdest way possible because he takes that completely seriously. Like part of me just thinks this whole thing is a bit every time he does something like that. But like we haven't heard a weird, bizarre analogy like that in a couple years.
His first F-bomb on the ESPN Plus Baylor Plus deal was like, whoa, we don't get that. Who's this Dave Aranda? What did they do the other
part of the program?
Yeah.
That was part of it.
We haven't.
I was saying we just haven't heard something weird like this the last couple of years. We've heard some bad stuff, like we've heard some dumb things. We weren't ready to play for like 6 weeks in a row, or we had a great week of practice as we fall to 3-9. Like we've heard that, but the Berenstain Bears came out when they were winning the Big 12 and winning the Sugar Bowl and favorites to win the Big 12, and now it's back again. So it's almost like cyclical. Is it time to start putting money on the Baylor Bears? Because we've gotten just the most bizarre answer in a tenure of bizarre answers. This is like, this is the 85 Bears of bizarre Dave Aranda answers. This was dominant. There's nothing that could compare.
I want to know what it's like when when you're in it's blindside style. And they're all recruiting a left tackle. And Dave gets to walk in the room first, and there's just a line of coaches outside the door. It's Dion. Dion's over there, and Drink and Kiffin, and Dave gives the analogy of those with dwarfism being tossed, which we do not condone, to said recruit. And then as he exits the room, Dion sits down, goes, I don't know what the hell any of that was.
Dude, I would give anything, like a year's salary, which is like $53. Like I would give all the money I have to see him one-on-one with a recruit in a recruit's living room.
Yeah.
Because they all love him. Like all these kids that are getting recruited, like obviously you mostly get recruited by the position coach, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, then I met with Coach Aranda and I was so in. I was like, really?
Wow.
Are you still reading children's books?
Fascinating.
Now we've gone from children's books literally to one of the most graphic movies of the year, 2013, 2012.
Like Dave sits down on the couch, which I think a buddy movie with him and Dion would really be
road
solid.
trip movie.
Do you think
they have to go to the ACC meetings to sell the Louisville and Miami to come to the Big 12? For some reason, it has to be Deion Sanders and Dave Aranda. It's all running through my head. Go ahead. Sorry.
I wonder if when
trains and automobiles,
Deion just Dave would hate Deion, and then Dave grows to love him by the end of the movie.
Oh yeah.
It also makes me think of, if you're a recruit and Willie Fritz walks in there and says, we're going to make you a great man. We're going to make you an even better person than a football player. And then Dave Aranda walks in and goes, you ever seen Wolf of Wall Street? You're 17.
Leans back in the chair. He's like, let me shoot you straight.
He just gives, what was your favorite scene?
What's your favorite Scorsese movie?
I know what you're thinking. Not that one. The other one. Coming up, Ren Baker tells Oklahoma no. Locked on Big 12. Today's show is brought to you by Game Time. Why? Because Game Time is exactly where I get my tickets. Did you know it's really just not that hard to go to an MLB game anymore? By and large, people are stopping doing that. And so Game Time's like, dude, dog, please, just take these. Up to 60% off with their killer last-minute deals. You can go to whatever MLB game that you want to, because Game Time has all of the games on their platform, and you can buy them in zone deals, picking the best seats in your section for you. Panoramic seat views. Game Time, price is what you pay. No hidden fees. Take the guesswork out of buying concert show tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Create an account. Use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account. Redeem code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices. That's guaranteed with Game Time.